All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Harakakodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and Shalom, to all the hopeful elect brothers that's doing the work of the Lord in sincerity and in truth. Now, Lord will, this is going to be a quick lesson, and the topic is hypocrite or hypocrisy. And this is based off of this this news that's going on, or this event that just happened of the U.S. Doing a sneak attack on Venezuela, invading the country and bombing them and snatching up or kidnapping the leader of Venezuela, uh, Maduro, and his wife, and now they're on trial in the U.S., which is crazy. But it's just something that I thought about, and Esau, Edom, is a hypocrite. He is the perfect devil. He is everything the Most High says don't be. That's what Esau is. He's a liar, murderer, thief. He worships other gods. He sacrifices to these demons for power and for knowledge, and for the knowledge of what to do, you know, on a what to do towards the future. Everything the Most High told the children of Israel, through His laws, statutes, and commandments. Everything He said not to do, that's what Esau does, and that's what Esau is. He's a liar and a murderer and a hypocrite. And the hypocrite is an actor. You pretend you pretend to be something that you're not. And I'm gonna get the definition of hypocrite. This is from Merriam-Webster dictionary, and it says a person who puts on a false appearance of virtue or religion, right? So the example is there are the hypocrites. This is a saying or a statement by Lorraine V. Murray. They there are the hypocrites who hurry to go to church on Sunday, but exhibit a whole spectrum of sins during the week. Yeah, for example, like these women in these churches. Church is like a whorehouse. They go basically all throughout the week, right? They they have like 3 to 5 different men that they deal with. One to one. You have one man that's one or a couple men that's sleeping with them. One to pay to do their nails. One to take them on a date. One to pay their phone bill. One to pay their rent. You know, and they commit all kind of wickedness throughout the week. They go to clubs on Friday and Saturday, right? And then on Sunday they go to church and they're holier than thou. That's just an example. And the second meaning is a person whose behavior contradicts their stated beliefs or feelings, right? The genuine hypocrite does or says one thing in a public and another in private, meaning they say what they say that they're for one thing. They pretend that they're for one thing, but really they're not. They're an actor. And This goes for this guy right here, the president of the U.S., the president of Babylon the Great. And I'm going to get a scripture. This is Job 20. Job 20 and verse 5. That the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. Let me read verse 4, Salakia. Job chapter 20, verse 4. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, but the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment? So, the triumphing of the wicked, the wicked as a nation is Esau, Edom. They're the wicked. Job 9 and 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Let me just get it. Job 9 and 24 says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Who controls the earth right now? The so-called white man, Esau, Edom, starting with their elite banking families. And then you have the small hats, you know, the ones that are in black and white pretending to be us, you know, pretending to be JEWS, but they're not, you know. The real JEWS is the tribe of Judah and the kingdom of Judah, which the tribe of Judah are the so-called African Americans today, and the kingdom of Judah is Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Those are the so-called Negro tribes, yeah, right? But they are Edomites from the tribe of Amalek, and Amalek owns everything, you know. All these corporations, you know, food, transportation, Hollywood, the PORN industry, that's owned by Amalek, you know. The money, like everything is owned by Esau, you know, namely Amalek. The Khazars. So they're the wicked, and the Most High gave power to them to rule over the earth. But that power is about to be stripped away from them by Yahweh Shai when he comes back. He covered the faces of the judges thereof, if not, where and who is he? So Esau, Edom whitewashed the images of the true judges of the earth, which are the Israelites, and also he whitewashed the images of the angels and of the Most High, and especially of Yahweh Shai, who they put up the new image of the Lord as being Caesar Borgia, which is not true. That image is a lie. It's false. And today is worshipped as an idol in the churches from our people, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. They worship that image in the church because they think that that's the Lord. They think that that's Yahweh Shai, which they call Jesus, but that's not him. You know? So we got that straight. They're in control of the earth right now. The triumphing of the wicked is short because they're triumphing right now. They, for one, his name is Trump, but you know, they are happy that they did this. They're happy that they have the whole world in their hand. They're happy that they're about to meet the goal of attaining their NWO, you know, their digital prison system. You know, they want everyone on earth as chattel slaves with a CHIP in their hand or in their forehead, right? That the triumphing of the wicked is short, but it's all short because rulership is only given to Esau, Edom, but for a moment, because they've only been ruling for only a couple hundred years, and the Lord is about to take rulership from them, you know, pretty soon. Very, very, very soon. And the joy of the hypocrite, but for a moment. So Esau, Edom, and Trump is an Edomite. Let me get Salakia. Triumphing, ringing cry, shout for joy, a shout triumphing. Hypocrite. It's hypocritical, godless, because it's a sin to lie, and all the so-called white man does is lie and pretend. Because this is an act of hypocrisy that he didn't, and I'm gonna go into it. Godless, profane, hypocrite, irreligious. So no Edomites can be saved because they are godless. They're not the chosen people, you know. And for one day, they've been oppressing, murdered the Israelites, the true people of the Lord, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans for hundreds of years, and even now. So how are they going to be saved? There's no good Edomite ever. Soiled, impious, hypocritical. Now, this is from CNBC. Trump admin pressed on pardon for ex-Honduras president after Venezuela's Maduro snatch, meaning kidnap. Key points. This is him right here. The Trump administration is facing increased scrutiny for its recent pardon of former Honduran President Juan Orlando Hernandez after charging Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro with drug trafficking. They're pressing him because they're like, wait, you just pardoned this guy that was charged. You know what? I'm gonna just go into it. I'm gonna read it. The U.S. captured Maduro on Saturday after an extensive military operation. It was a sneak attack around 2 a.m. Maduro is now facing charges in New York, including narco-terrorism conspiracy, which is a lie because the drugs come from Colombia, right? They come from Colombia and other parts of South America, but it doesn't come from Venezuela. It passes through Central America. It passes through Central America and Mexico to get to the U.S. And the so-called white man is at the head of that anyways. The war on drugs, they're the one that's really in control of that. Esau, Edom. So it's right here. It says the Trump administration is facing renewed questions over its recent pardon of former Honduran President Juan Orlando Hernandez after the U.S. captured Venezuela's leader Nicolas Maduro on Saturday and charged him with crimes related to drug trafficking, because that's the cover-up. But here how he's a hypocrite. Let me look at that word. Wait. Let me just read it. Hernandez in 2024 was convicted of conspiring with drug traffickers and using his government position to help hundreds of tons of cocaine enter the U.S., the United States. He was sentenced to 45 years in prison, right? The ex-president of Honduras, which Honduras is in Central America. That's what he was charged with. President Donald Trump pardoned Hernandez in November, saying in a post to his Truth Social account that he had been treated very harshly and unfairly. Maduro was charged with narco-terrorism conspiracy along with four other charges: cocaine importation conspiracy, possession of machine guns and destructive devices, and conspiracy to possess machine guns and destructive devices. Secretary of State Marco Rubio on Sunday was pressed on the apparent contradiction. That means that, let's go back to the word hypocrite, right? A person whose behavior contradicts their stated beliefs or feelings. So he pardoned someone that was actually guilty of of um of funneling hundreds of hundreds of tons of cocaine into the U.S., which is a crime. That's drug trafficking. That's actually drug trafficking. So he pardoned that person, but now he's uh he's going to Maduro and charging him with false charges, right? That's being a hypocrite for pardoning an actual drug trafficker, right? Or someone that's actually charged with it. Maduro wasn't charged with that. On the apparent contradiction, meaning is a hypocrite. Contradiction of Hernandez pardon now that the U.S. is seeking similar charges against Maduro. Another head of state of a South American nation with ties to the drug trade. I don't do the pardon file. I'm not against it or for it. I didn't review the file, so I can't speak. So I can't speak to you about the dynamics that led the president to make the decision that he made. Rubio said on NBC's Meet the Press. He reviewed the file, da 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 da. Whether you agree with that decision or not, that doesn't mean you leave Maduro in place. Okay, so scrutiny, look up. Critical observation or examination. So they're they they are criticizing or examining or pressing the president. They're like, yo, what's going on here? Like you pardoned this guy that was charged with drug trafficking, and now you captured, kidnapped this whole president, all because you want their oil and charge him of drug trafficking, which is a hypocrite. Esau is a hypocrite. Let me get the other scripture. Habakkuk chapter 2. Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 5. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, the wine is his philosophies. He is a proud man. For example, he's saying that he's going after Colombia and Cuba next. And in his speech that he did Saturday when the arrest was made, when the kidnapping was made and the bombing was finished, he was like, yo, they're prepared to do a second attack and they're going to take over Venezuela for now. Their U.S. company is going to go in there and take control of the oil and see to it that the Venezuelan people are treated carefully. You know, they're treated right. They're gonna take care of the Venezuelan people, which is all lies. Right? That's all pride. How can you just what they did yesterday was a show of their pride. He is a proud man. Neither keepeth at home. He literally went over to another continent, all to take over that country for their oil. So these elites, these Edomites can never have enough. They have control of the whole world. They could print paper money. They could print trillions of dollars in paper money, right? They have all the gold. all the silver, all the world's resources, but they still want more. That's a devil for you. Neither keepeth at home. He's in all these other countries taking their resources, right? Doing regime changes and military intervention, being a big bully, being a hammer of the earth. Who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied. So he enlargeth his desire as hell. Hell meaning the grave, because the earth, right? The earth is constantly, every day, having funerals, burials, because people die every day and people are born every day. Funerals happen every day, so the earth is constantly being fed with new corpses, right? So who enlargeth his desire as hell, meaning as the grave, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. So in the U.S. and Babylon the Great, all nations are here. The 12 tribes of Israel are all here, all here. So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, from the tribe of Judah, so-called African Americans, which they've been here, they stationed here. West Indians, Haitians, Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, South Americans, Central Americans, Cubans, they're all here. So the great deliverance is gonna happen here in Babylon, because all the tribes are here, and the elect is gonna be delivered from other countries all over the world as well. But the deliverance from the second Egypt is mainly here in Babylon the Great. Well, mainly gonna be from here. Is mainly gonna be from here. Salaki, I was just distracted by a car. And cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. So, yeah, that's it. He's gonna never have enough. He wants to own all the earth's resources. And a part of the reason why these other nations, they come here, is because the U.S. go into their land and start wars and replace the rulers with who they want into power, and then loan them large amounts of money in which they know they can't pay back. So they destroy their country. So the people from the countries that they destroyed, who they turn into third world countries, they have to come here to America for a better life. That's the reason why all these different nations are here in the first place, right? Or at least that's one major reason, that this is a melting pot. But yeah, that's the end of the lesson. Lord will, it was edifying. All praises, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Barakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders, of Great Millstone. Shalom.